Chapter 8 Trouble at School. It had been a long, hard week for Rod, but it's Friday morning and nearly the weekend. Dan's mother really seemed to want to make trouble. She'd begun on and on about the bruise on Dan's arm, which she seemed to think was something to do with Rod. Rod had never touched the boy. It was more than his job was worth to acting around a child. How much they pushed your patience, Dan certainly did. It was always starting frights, and it was hard not to physically pull them off the other children. Rod probably ended up in this hallmark, and it took his classroom already. He was looking forward to this evening. Leah and T was going to the theatre out for a meal. Then they were going to have a quiet weekend together. Everyone been so busy lately, and hardly seeing each other. Rod smiled as he saw Fenella approaching the classroom with Ellie. Ellie was a lovely child, a really character. He wanted more if Fenella worried so much about her, though he supposed she was still getting used to being a parent. It must be hard to reflect it going of her own, especially a child not yours biologically. Ellie really seemed to enjoy coming to school. She always went straight to the book corner, chose a reading book, and sat down without being asked. Fenella was therefore much more relaxed about leaving her than had been that first morning. She smiled and waved as she left, and the children began to arrive. When Rod called out the children's names and wrote in the register, he was quite pleased to see that Dab was absent. Then there was fewer colleagues, and he went over the surgery. Rod was just looking forward to his cup of coffee when there was a knock on the classroom door, and the head teacher, Miss Gray, walked quickly in. She was a tall woman with a sharp brown haircut. "I need to see you in my room at break time," she said, and disappeared again. Rod cursed silently. Once the head called her in her office, she liked to quote long chats and would say goodbye to her morning coffee. When it was time, he sent the children outside to bake and went to look to the kitchen. She looked at him seriously across her desk. "I'm really sorry about this, and I don't want you to think for a minute that I believe what has been said," she began. "But there are legal procedures, and we have to follow them." Rod found his heart jumped a little. This sounded serious, and he had a horrible feeling that it had something to do with Dan and his mother. The head took a deep breath. "I've had a phone call from Mrs. Bedrock, Dan's mother," she said. "I expect you'll notice Dan's not at school today." "Yes, it's quite a relief, actually," said Rod, hoping the head would share his humor. But she looked at him even more seriously. "Apparently, Dan is accused of bruising his arm and trying to hurt him," said Mrs. Gray and Rod. Rod raised his hands in despair. "This has been going on all week," he said. His mother had been on and on about that bruise on his arm, which, as far as I know, he got fighting with Tom one break time. She wants to make trouble this term. I favor the other children, but she won't listen when I tell her Dan's behavior is getting worse and he needs some extra support." I know," said Mrs. Gray. "I know Dan and his mother as well as you do. You're not the first teacher she gave this kind of trouble to, but I'm afraid she's gone to the local education authority this time. This means we have no choice but to suspend you until proved innocent in a disciplinary hearing." "Suspend me?" Rod said in disbelief. "Yes, I'm afraid so," continued Mrs. Gray. "You have to stop teaching for a while. I used to debate, of course, but Walter is silent. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. Suspect me. Why had he been so unfairly treated? He had spent a large part of the school year trying to find positive things to say about Ben, and even given him the star while on the Christmas play. Slowly, he began to realize that if he was suspended from the school, his reputation would be damaged forever. Even if he once eventually proved innocent. I want you to know that I do not believe the accusation, said Mrs. Gray. I have every confidence in you as a member of my staff, and I consider it a huge loss that we should have to do without you for any time at all. However, I really don't have a choice. Rod got up. I'd better get back to class, he said. No, Rod. I'm afraid we have to suspend you right now. I have to go home. I'll be taking your class for the rest of the day and we'll get you a teacher for next week. Of the next few weeks, if I say. Rod looked at her. He could see how sorry she was. It wasn't right across her face. It was clear there wasn't going to be an easier way after this. He went back to his classroom to pick up his bags and coat, then walked quickly, head bent, to the car park. Ellie and Timothy ran after him. Where are you going, sir? They asked, as he fitted his key in the lock. He looked at the eager, friendly faces as he climbed into the driver's seat. I've got to go home, he said. Mrs. Gray will teach you for the rest of the day. And he swallowed hard as he watched the disappointed faces in his rear view mirror. It pulled out of the school gate. He drove fast out of the town. At least at this time of day, traffic was light. It was relieved to be in open countryside. It felt strange to be outside school in the middle of the morning. He could hardly believe what had happened.